Okay, it should be working now. Sorry about that. Okay, what's going on, guys? Sorry about the delay there. That was had a little bit of technical issues there with Streamlabs, but we are now going live and we have an exciting game here. This is going to be Faith on the left. He is playing IG-88. Controversially, the leader that I consider the worst in the game in Star Wars Unlimited right now, but Faith thinks he's figured out a way to make him a little bit stronger. So we're going to see how he does here in a match against Prairie Pirates on the right, who's running Luke. So we have kind of the D tier versus the A tier here, at least based on their current standings in my tier list. But let's see how we do. Faith is going to lead off with a Partisan Insurgent. That's a card that was recently revealed actually on my own YouTube channel. 2 cost 1/4 Rebel Trooper. While you control another aggression unit, this unit gains Raid 2, +2 power while attacking. And I can only surmise there are going to be quite a few aggression units here in Faith's composition. Next up, we're going to have Battlefield Marine from Prairie Pirates, a very strong unit and recently previewed. 2 cost 3/3, and it is going to be 2 cost 3/3, and it is going to be totally vanilla with no text, but does have some good stats. Uh, and also, viewers, there's some discussion about whether it's better to have the overhead perspective like this or whether to play from one player's perspectives. I personally prefer having this for games that I'm casting because it has a more objective appearance. But yeah. Okay, so then we're going to go into the next turn. So Faith has the initiative here with his Partisan Insurgent staring down a Battlefield Marine from Prairie Pirates. And let's see what exactly happens here. 3 resources spent for a fifth brother. Fifth brother here, a 3 cost 2/4 gains raid 1 for each damage on him, and on attack you may deal 1 damage to this unit and 1 damage to another ground unit. Wing leader deployed here by Prairie Pirates, granting 2 experience to the Battlefield Marine. Now a 5/5. A 5/5 on the second turn is a big problem here. Wing leader, one of the classic cards here, one of the stronger cards in the game. 3 cost 2/1 when played, give 2 experience tokens to another friendly rebel unit. The Battlefield Marine then defeats Fifth Brother, and we're going to move to the next turn. We could see another Fifth Brother played out here. I can only imagine we're going to see that Forced Choke being used, though, to deal with the Battlefield Marine, and then maybe we could see the Snowtrooper Lieutenant. We could see the Death Star Stormtrooper, but I think that Forced Choke is going to need to happen, or else that Marine from Prairie Pirates is just going to be too much of an obstacle for Faith to deal with, thanks to the buff from that wing leader. And honestly, even without the buff from the wing leader, it was already kind of scary. Just having a 3/3 for 2 is very high efficiency play. Snowtrooper Lieutenant ends up being reinforced or being resourced here by Faith, which to me does imply. Ooh, okay, not going for the forced choke. It's going to be an ambush with the Death Star Stormtrooper defeating that guy, and I guess he's going to then play out the fifth brother that he has in hand. So ambushed that guy with a Death Star Stormtrooper for 3 damage. Does get the kill. 4 resources spent. An energy conversion lab ambushing Kanan in and defeating the. Ooh, that is pretty bad for Faith. Defeating the Partisan Insurgent. Fifth Brother does get played out here. Can at least trade with Kanan. Wing Leader hits the base for 2. Initiative taken here, and now we're going to see that Forced Choke, I bet. Faith really needs to deal with that. Faith really needs to deal with that Kanan. I think what we see here is Forced Choke used to defeat Kanan. Then we see the Ardent Sympathizer maybe played out to the field, and then perhaps IG-88 will make an appearance as well. Yeah, there's the Forced Choke, defeats Kanan. That does give a card draw to Prairie Pirates. Then we're going to see how things persist. Now, Prairie Pirate's turn to act. He draws an Agent Callus from the Force Choke, and that is an excellent card here to counter this fifth brother. But he ends up going with a swing with the Wing Leader instead. So fifth brother here, his ability can do one damage to himself and then one damage to another unit, but it has to be a ground unit, so it can't be used to shoot down that Wing Leader. Uh, Faith opts not to use the ability. Could have done one damage to himself to grant that raid one. So this guy has raid one for each damage on him. Now Callus shows up and picks off Fifth Brother, taking two damage while he's at it, drawing a card for defeating a unique unit. Just point out to the players there that Callus should have two damage. So then I think we're going to see the Ardent Sympathizer. IG-88 can deploy. We're already in a tough spot here for Faith, though. We're already in a bit of a tough spot for Faith. Ardent Sympathizer on the field. So Ardent Sympathizer is a 3-cost 3/3, but while you have the initiative, he becomes a 5/3. IG-88 not being deployed, probably because he would just get killed by Callus. Initiative on Prairie Pirates side, and I think this game has already skewed far away from Faith's position. Yeah, I don't think Faith has an easy way out. Obi-Wan Kenobi here blocking potential attacks. We could see an overwhelming barrage here for. Oh no, he doesn't have the initiative, so it'd only be 5, not 7. Not sure there's an easy way out here. Probably the best play that he can make is to just play that interceptor and take down the wing leader, but not a thrilling play by any means. That is what we see though. The Imperial Interceptor, when played, you would deal 3 damage to a space unit. Very nice art on that card as well. Very cool looking. Callus swings into the base for 4. Ardent Sympathizer still there, but doesn't really have any good targets. Probably you just take the initiative here, in my opinion, if you're Faith. No, he deploys. No, oh man, he deploys IG-88. I don't know why he did that. I think he should not have deployed IG-88 there. I would just take the initiative. Because IG-88 is just going to get killed and can't even attack here. Oh, but I guess now he can attack with the Ardent Sympathizer at strength 6. Um, so assuming IG-88 and the Ardent Sympathizer both live, which seems like a bad assumption. He, okay, yeah. IG-88 taken out by Luke. Um, does do 5 damage though. And then, but Luke gets to give out a shield, and that's really the catastrophic part. Luke's shield ability may be missed, but probably going to be on Obi-Wan. An overwhelming barrage can at least knock the shield off, defeat Callus and Luke, but Obi-Wan is still the strongest unit on the board, and I'm not really sure what else Faith can do. Additionally, there's a huge card advantage for Prairie Pirates here. And he has some very strong late game units like Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight. Overwhelming barrage for 7, so that is a pretty good barrage. +2/+2 and damage equal to its power divided as you choose among any number of other units. Callus and Luke are both defeated by that damage, and the excess damage knocks the shield off of Obi-Wan. So this guy is now a 7/5 for the turn. Callus does get to draw. Yeah, I'm not actually sure if it works like that. I wonder if you can do the overwhelming damage, barrage damage to Callus first to remove him before he gets his ability. They're saying that it's at the same time, which might be right. I don't really know how it works, so we'll see how this goes. Rare position where IG-88's leader ability can maybe actually be used. Oh, no, it can't. Obi-Wan hits the base for 4. The Ardent Sympathizer trades for Obi-Wan. Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight clears out the Interceptor, and he is opposed by Humble Death Star Trooper. Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight was recently previewed. 7 costs 6/7. Restore 3, and when played, you give an enemy unit -3/-3 for the phase. If an enemy unit was defeated this phase, you give that enemy unit -6/-6 for the phase instead. Very, very powerful unit. Oh, and look at the hands here. Prairie Pirates just has so many cards in hand. It's crazy. He's got 9 cards in hand, 9 cards in hand here, 8 after 8 resources, and he also has a way better board position than that of Faith. I think this one is not going to be a win for IG-88. But if Faith can make the comeback, though, it'll be huge. Agent Callus makes his appearance again, ambushing and defeating that trooper. A cell block guard stands in the way of the cell block guard stands in the way of the base. Luke defeats him easily and restores 3. Brutal. Only 1 life. Oh man, Faith is sticking it out. He's not conceding, but he's getting destroyed here. He deploys a snow trooper only for it to be hit by it binds all things, moving the damage from Luke. Wait, what? I don't know. How did Luke shielded Luke? But yeah, Luke wasn't played this turn, so a bit of an error there. But takes it back. It shouldn't be a big deal. Having a shield or not on that Luke is not relevant because this game is basically over. Um, 3 copies of Yoda in hand. Callus ambushes the enemy Callus and draws a card. Both players draw a card. Faith is all kinds of dead here. He has nothing he could play this turn. His opponent's Jedi Luke gets a lightsaber. All right, Faith scoops at this point. Go into game 2. Disastrous game 1 for IG-88. Disastrous game 1 for IG-88. The That Battlefield Marine plus Wing Leader combo was a huge obstacle in the early game. IG-88 wasn't able to get the early aggression going in the way that he might have benefited from otherwise, and so we saw a quick victory for Luke. But we are going to move on to a round 2 here, and let's see whether or not Faith can take the lessons learned from that game and put together a stronger performance here. Early hand looking at least okay for Faith. He's got some seasoned shore troopers and a First Legion snow trooper. Maximum firepower there. If he can get into a position where he can maximum firepower Luke off the board when he deploys, that could be quite strong. We're gonna lead off here with the First Legion Snowtrooper. 2 cost 2/3 while attacking a damaged unit gets +2 and gains overwhelm. A regional governor deployed here, and I think name's Agent Callus. 2 cost 1/4 when played, name a card. Well, this unit's in play, opponents can't play the named card. So that regional governor blocking Callus, which is reasonable because Callus counters the governor really hard. Um, not a super not a super aggro sort of thing to play though, and this could be Faith's opportunity to kind of gain an advantage in the early game. That Battlefield Marine that was played in the earlier game is a much better early option. Yeah, so Prairie Pirates attempts to use a fleet lieutenant to have the governor attack and defeat that trooper, but it actually does not work because the governor is not a rebel unit. The seasoned shore trooper hits the field. Governor hits the base for one, and then IG-88's ability actually used. Attack with the unit. If you control more units than the defending player, the attacker gets +1 for this attack. That allows the First Legion Snowtrooper to hit Prairie Pirate's base for 3 damage there. And initiative taken there. Okay, so now we have a situation where Faith has the stronger board. Yoda could be an obstacle though. So Yoda is a 3-cost 2/4 with Restore 2. When defeated, you choose any number of players and they each draw a card. The Restore from Yoda is really useful against early aggression and might be a substantial obstacle here for Faith. We're gonna see. Oh no, but we have a First Legion Snowtrooper in hand, or I'm sorry, a Snowtrooper Lieutenant in hand that could actually be used to have somebody attack into Yoda and defeat him. Another Fleet Lieutenant play, but once again, Yoda is not a rebel, so can't get the bonus damage there. So, all right, Yoda ends up just hitting the base for 2, heals Prairie Pirates base for 2. Okay, so now we're going to see. All right, we're gonna see IG-88 using his ability to have uh the seasoned short trooper hits the base for 3. Kanan hits the field. 4 cost 4/5. On attack, you may discard 1 card from the defending player's deck for each friendly specter. Heal 1 damage from your base for each different aspect among the discarded cards. Very strong card here. All right, so the question now is what will Faith do? So he has an Imperial Interceptor, but that's only an efficient play in the space arena. Ends up playing a He's just going straight for the face. 4 damage to the face with a Snowtrooper Lieutenant buffing the First Legion Snowtrooper. The problem I see with this approach though is there's just so much restore available from Prairie Pirates' side of the board with the restore 2 on Yoda and the ability from Kanan to mill a card from the top of the deck and then recover based on the aspect. It does seem to me that Faith is getting a nice aggro start in some ways, but the problem is that with that restore being a factor, I don't think that he has enough damage. So he's gonna actually claim here. Let's see what happens. We see two. Wow, Prairie Pirates draws a resupply, but no, he's rethinking it. He's rethinking it. Uh, I was surprised to see that resupply going into the resources. It seems like a really good card to play here to get Luke out of turn early, but we'll have to see how it goes. IG-88's ability used again, and the short trooper swings in for 3 damage. Kanan defeats the short trooper. I think Kanan attacked the short trooper, or oh, and the sympathizer was milled. Yeah, I guess he attacked the short trooper there because the short trooper was gonna have bonus stats next turn. Maximum firepower killing Yoda. Okay, so he wants Yoda off the board. That makes sense. He the restore from Yoda is a big obstacle to his early aggression. He needs that dealt with. So maximum firepower brings Yoda off the board. Then Imperial Governor swings in for 1. Prairie Pirates is slow rolling it here, trying to maybe hide what he's gonna do, I think, taking like relatively minor actions. Oh, whoa, 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 that's crazy. Faith actually attacks for two. He should really deploy IG-88 first to get raid enabled. I don't know why I don't know why he hasn't done it. Oh, he's forfeiting a bunch of damage here that he would otherwise have. Luke deploys. Energy Conversion Lab and a Death Star Stormtrooper ambushes and defeats Callus. Yeah, so I think Faith didn't realize that he could actually deploy IG-88 this turn. He just said that he had forgotten about that, and that makes sense as to why he would have done it this way and lost the damage that he could have gotten from the raid that IG-88 grants on the other side. Luke Skywalker attacks and defeats that first Legion Trooper and grants a shield to the Governor. IG-88 now deploying. IG-88 is a 5/4 that gives each other friendly unit raid 1. The TIE LN swings in for 3. Luke's lightsaber on the field. IG-88 hits the base for another 5. Faith is close to the kill here. He only needs 3 more damage. PrairiePirates taking the initiative. PrairiePirates has got to stop IG-88 with his first action here, or the game will be over very quickly. IG-88 just needs to make one attack to win. Man, we'll have to see how this goes. Hmm. Luke takes down IG-88. 2 damage to the base with the Snowtrooper Lieutenant. Jedi Luke arrives and defeats the trooper, but all Faith has to do is take the initiative, and the Snowtrooper Lieutenant can get in and win the game. All he has to do is take the initiative here, and he's won the game for sure. There's nothing that PrairiePirates can do. Yeah, Faith takes the initiative, and yeah, it's going to be a win. That Snowtrooper can sneak through these incredible defenses and win the game. Faith has done it. Faith has done it. He actually gets the win with IG-88 against Luke. Big shout out to Faith for that victory. Was able to get in there. All right. I think we're going for round 3. Round 3. Can Faith do it? They're 1-1. Can Faith win the 2 out of 3 and beat one of the best leaders with the leader commonly considered the worst? IG-88 versus Luke Skywalker. Here we go. Round 3, 1-1. What an exciting scenario. Okay. Oh, PrairiePirates has missed his turn 1 play. PrairiePirates has missed his turn 1 play. He doesn't have a 2-cost unit. All he does is take the initiative. All and then we're going to see seasoned shore trooper on the field for Faith. Faith, Faith with the spicy general tag or Taji or however you pronounce that. Two cost 2/2 when played, give an experience token to each of up to 3 trooper units. Normally this card's very hard to set up, but it might actually be getting some good value here. He could easily play another trooper this turn and then play. Yeah, he could easily. Oh, resupply. That is okay. That is a very That is a very bold move by Faith. Or by Prairie Pirates. I would have assumed that we would see Admiral Akbar this turn. Resupply is very risky to play against an aggro deck. He's trying to ramp into his stronger units, but maybe he'll get there in time. The Cell Block Guard deployed here by Faith. 3 cost 3/3 with Sentinel. This turn, I think what he's doing is I think he's going to use I think he will use the Snow Trooper Lieutenant to have one of his units attack with +2. Then he'll play General Tag, give out 3 experience potentially. I don't know. I think Prairie Pirates not having an early game play here might be a big disadvantage for him. He deploys Kanan, uses the Energy Conversion Lab. Energy Conversion Lab allows Kanan to defeat the Cell Block Guard in one move, and it's going to mill the top card, which is a forced choke, heals the Imperial base or the Rebel base for 2. Okay. And if Faith doesn't kill Kanan immediately, if Kanan doesn't kill, if Faith doesn't kill Kanan immediately, yeah, that's what he does. He's gotta take the kill there so that Luke can't use the ability to shield. What is he? Partisan insurgent. I think that was a misplay, incidentally. I think that he should have used his own energy conversion lab to play the Snowtrooper Lieutenant, resolve the when played first to have the trooper attack the base for 4, and then had the Snowtrooper Lieutenant ambush and defeat Kanan. I think that would have been a much stronger play than the way that he did it here, but we'll have to see whether or not that ends up coming back to bite him. All right, let's see how we proceed here. Obi-Wan, that is a big obstacle here for Faith. And Obi-Wan is a big problem, and Luke is going to make his appearance as well. I don't know. It looked like Faith had a good start, but that ambushed Kanan has really shut him down here. I don't know how he can get out of this situation now. Hmm. Faith may be considering his options here. This Obi-Wan Kenobi is a massive obstacle. He does have one option to kill Obi-Wan. He can use the energy. I think this is what he has to do. He has to use the energy conversion lab. Energy conversion lab with a snowtrooper lieutenant to use it on the other snowtrooper lieutenant, hit Obi-Wan for 4, and then ambush with the other 2 damage. That would defeat Obi-Wan in one attack and prevent him from getting the when defeated ability. So when defeated, give 2 experience tokens to their friendly unit. If it's a force unit, draw a card. He really needs to kill Obi-Wan before another unit hits the field, but he doesn't do it. He deploys Fifth Brother. Ambushes with the Fifth Brother instead. He must not see it. He must not see it. So he ends up doing 4 total damage to Obi-Wan, yeah, because he does 1 damage with his own ability and then attacks. But now Luke deploys, it's too late. Obi-Wan was not stopped in time. I think that Faith must not have seen the play with the Snowtrooper Lieutenant that could have killed Obi-Wan before Luke deployed. But honestly, even if he had done that, he just has not done anywhere near enough damage. It's not even close. So now Luke gets the 2 experience and a card draw there. And I think I think it's basically I think it's basically game. I just don't see how Faith gets out of this. Sure. Takes the initiative without deploying IG-88. Very tough situation there for Faith. It looked like this game was going in his favor in those early plays, but the not having a good answer to that Kanan really cost him. I do think if he had played this a little differently with the ambush on Kanan or later the ambush on Obi-Wan, he would be in a much stronger spot, but he didn't go for those moves and is now in a dangerous position for sure. Death Star Stormtrooper hits the field. Jedi Luke sends him off the board. Normal Snowtrooper Lieutenant deploys. I think this is it. I don't think he can come back. General Tag makes an appearance. This is maybe the first time I've actually seen him played. Not that it's very valuable. It gives an experience token to each of up to 3 trooper units. At least makes that Snowtrooper a 3/3. IG-88 hasn't even hit the field. Might not this game. I mean, he could deploy IG-88 any time, but the game is really, really unfavorable at this phase. Out of aspect, overwhelming barrage to wipe the board. Man, Faith passes here. He's gonna try to sneak in with IG-88. Jedi Luke hits for 6. IG-88 deploys. Luke can just defeat IG-88 and give an extra experience to Jedi Luke. And that's exactly or an extra shield to Jedi Luke, and that's exactly what we see. Gotta be a forced choke here. Fifth brother deployed. Initiative taken. Forced choke to kill. Leader Luke is Leader Luke is actually defeated, so Faith has done something here, but like Jedi Luke with 2 shield tokens, I just don't see how he's getting I don't see how he's getting through that. And 0 damage on the enemy base. This Luke Skywalker Jedi Knight's a very strong card. 7 cost 6/7 with Restore 3. When played, give an enemy unit -3/-3 for the phase. If a friendly unit was defeated this phase, give that enemy unit -6/-6 for this phase instead. So similarly to Han Solo, the unit, or to Count Dooku, this unit defeats an enemy when played and then sticks around as a powerful unit afterwards. Also has both the Force and Rebel traits, which are very strong. We'll have to see how this goes. Out of faction command, 2 experience tokens to a unit, and he tries to deal damage, but it doesn't work because it only works on non-unique units. So he says, okay, I'll get a unit from discard and put it in hand. I would probably I, I would probably not play command out of aspect personally, but Prairie Pirates is doing it, and he does look to be winning this game, so might not be as bad as I think. Obi-Wan, back to hand. Another giant obstacle. Fifth brother hits the rebel base for 3, pinging a shield off, but Luke's restore 3 just heals it completely. Death Star Stormtrooper, initiative taken. Faith plays an overwhelming barrage, knocking Luke's last shield off and doing the rest of the damage to his own guy. Basically, a stylish way to concede because he has no way to deal with Jedi Luke, who can now attack and destroy the base. So, man, Faith did get a win. Faith did get a win, so he didn't get 3-0'd here. And I am kind of impressed by that because IG-88 is not the best. These players are showboating. Overwhelming barrage with Luke to defeat a trooper. And then Luke finally attacks and defeats the base. Okay. Attacks for 10, yeah. Overkills the base by 5. So yeah, the this third game it looked so good for Faith at the start. I thought he might actually win this set. But the ambushed Kanan was a giant obstacle. He wasn't really able to get through that. IG-88 not able to get there. Not able to get there. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you were wondering whether IG-88 is strong now, I honestly thought this was better than I expected it to do, but it was still got thrashed in that last game. That was a brutal game. Now, to be fair, Luke is one of the more annoying decks for aggro to deal with because he has a large amount of restore available. So I do think that's like a major factor that makes IG-88 less relevant than he might otherwise be. This was probably a bad matchup, and I could see this doing well against later game decks. That being said, I would still not recommend playing IG-88. All right. Well, that's gonna do it for this broadcast, guys. I might be back again later with some more footage, but at least for now, we are going to call this one good. Thanks to y'all for watching, and we'll be back later with some more Star Wars Unlimited content. I will catch you guys later.